We had a lot of time to think about retirement homes, and we felt that Carolina Meadows had the combination of what we wanted.
We wanted to be close to a major metropolitan area.
A home where we would be living independently.
A place that had a lot of activities.
The medical care that would be available.
And we also wanted to be close to a nice airport.
We just knew this place was for us.
Chapel Hill, when we discovered it, just seemed to be the ideal spot for us to be.
Oh, I like the culture and I like the atmosphere.
I love being close to a college campus.
We got a little tired of 20 below zero in northern New York, so we decided we would move down here.
The nice thing here at Carolina Meadows, we're just outside of downtown.
We are only 12 minutes from most any place you would want to go.
Really, to me, it's a northern town in a southern setting.
Wonderful art work shows, the symphonies that come to the university and their new memorial hall. All these things supply any kind of need that you might have for the finer arts, if you will.
Being in the Chapel Hill area gives our residents access to world-class medical care.
I think the hospital is only about 5 miles away.
The medical facilities nearby with Duke and the University of North Carolina have proven to be great institutions for us, for our needs.
I think the thing I love the most about Carolina Meadows is the people.
People who have been living here are so hospitable when one first moves here.
We had a lot of people come to our door and say welcome, carrying a loaf of wheat bread or flowers.
We felt like we were moving home.
Getting to know other people out here has been rather easy.
Carolina Meadows is very adept at arranging ways to meet people. It's done fairly subtly, but there's all kinds of things going on here, more than you can ever fill the day on.
I exercise in the Wellness Center, which is a beautifully laid out wellness center. They have all the machines you need.
It's a brand new facility with Kaiser equipment, which is very easy on your joints.
We offer a variety of yoga classes. We have stretch and tone classes, weight training classes, Tai Chi. Recently started having Nia classes. We offer jazzercise.
All the sports they offer, the exercise room, the pool. Love the pool.
And to stimulate you intellectually, we have a group of 40 or 50 people. People come as they wish to discuss current affairs on one day of the week. On another day, they're discussing foreign affairs.
We get some very good discussions going. Keep in mind that some people here, some of the residents here, have had a lot of involvement in their professional lives doing just this sort of thing.
Anything you really want to get into, I think Carolina Meadows, you can find a spot.
Good morning, Carolina Meadows.
If you ask a resident why they love living at Carolina Meadows, one of the things you're sure to hear about is our staff.
The staff at Carolina Meadows is, again, a treasure for the residents.
Everywhere you go, they speak to you, and if you need something, you get it.
They are all very helpful.
What makes you feel so good is when they call you Mr. So-and-so, Mrs. So-and-so, then you really feel very, very special.
Carolina Meadows has very high expectations of employees, and so we want to make sure that they're successful here.
The safety and enjoyment of our residents is our top priority, and to make sure that we have the best candidates possible, we have a very stringent hiring process.
We do a criminal background check, we test for drug screening. That's just the initial thing, but it's more a fitting in of the culture here, a culture of customer service.
It's important that our staff knows that the resident is the most important person here. When they need something, they have an idea, our staff listen to it.
Well, the residents have quite a bit to say about Carolina Meadows and how it's run, and more so than what you would find in most other communities.
We have much more of a say-so here than they allow people to have in some places like this.
It's important for them to feel the security of knowing that they have a voice in the community, a voice in the operations.
It's most unusual to have actual residents be very active in the way the place is being governed.
I'm an elected resident member of the board of directors of Carolina Meadows.
My favorite part of the board meetings is when we turn to the residents and say, okay, this is kind of where we think we're leaning. Can you give us the flavor of what you think the reaction to that would be?
We hear their concerns, we hear their complaints, we hear their praises. So we try to create a very collegial atmosphere so that we work together.
Carolina Meadows is a not-for-profit community. What that means is decisions are made based on what's best for this community, not what's best for shareholders.
I oversee the finance department. I want to make sure that every dollar that we spend here is spent in the interests of Carolina Meadows and that we provide the best service we can to the residents of Carolina Meadows.
When you're considering a retirement community, it's very important that you understand the financial condition of that community.
You might see some marketing materials, you might see some brochures, but in the end, what is ultimately going to keep you safe financially and accomplish for you what you want, which is security and safety in your community, is going to be that financial endurance.
You can have assurance here at Carolina Meadows, we maintain a very strong financial position.
Our Equity Advantage program is one of the few in the nation. It's a program where you get all the benefits of home ownership without any of the responsibilities.
This model allows, at the time of refund, the resident to receive at least 90% and in most cases more than 100% of their original investment in Carolina Meadows.
It was important to me to know that I would get back a large percentage of the money I put in, and therefore that would transfer to my family.
The contract that Carolina Meadows has with its residents is fee-for-service.
Fee-for-service is something you get to aim your money where you want to spend it.
You pay for what you get, your food, your housekeeping.
If we have to go to the health center, we would pay for that. But we're not paying that now for everything that we might not ever use.
You don't prepay any of your medical care here hoping that maybe someday you might need that. Here, the hope is that you will always be independent, and therefore you pay for medical care only if you do in fact require it.
One of the reasons people choose a continuing care retirement center is to have the option of using a health center should their health require that.
All of our homes are completely customized for incoming residents.
The way that Carolina Meadows approaches that is they want the new resident, whether they're moving into an apartment or into a villa, to feel like they're coming into a brand new home.
We were able to choose everything from our floor covering to the wall coverings, the paint.
We added a bay window into our kitchen.
We took out part of a wall to make the kitchen larger.
Being able to make these changes was quite important.
It was a very easy transition, and we're very pleased with all the modifications.
Our dining program is one of the main reasons people say that they have chosen Carolina Meadows.
I don't think there's a person here that ever complains about the food.
There's no question in my mind what sets it apart, and that is that we really strive all the time for freshness and quality.
The food is magnificent.
Absolutely, unbelievably delicious.
Great variety, and it's very, very tasty. Served well.
We have 3 kitchens, 10 dining rooms all over campus, and the cafe. And we also do catering anywhere on campus.
Not many retirement communities, and certainly not many in this area, can brag about chefs that have been trained at the Culinary Institute of America.
Everyone who lives in other retirement homes will come and say, your food is so good.
But no matter how good the food is, you don't want to eat in the same restaurant every night. And that's the beauty about here.
We don't expect our residents to stop their busy lives and run back home in order to dine in the dining room for a meal that they had already paid for. Here, they dine when they'd like through country club style dining.
You don't have to eat definitely any meal if you don't want to.
You can eat it all at noon, or you can eat it all at dinner, or you can eat all your meals here.
I'm on a 6-month plan, and I go away a little bit in the winter, and so consequently this works good.
Sometimes people are hesitant to move to a retirement community.
There is the feeling somehow that one is going to be restricted by moving into an institutional environment.
A retirement community is a continuum of care. It isn't just a home to take care of people who can't manage on their own.
The issue is having a life. And a retirement community like Carolina Meadows provides you with that life.
I have one piece of advice for the people out there considering going to a retirement community, and that is to put your name on the waiting list early.
You need to give yourselves at least 5 or 6 years just to find out what they're about, how they function, and the differences among them.
I would suggest that they come down for a week, more than once. Get some names from the retirement community of people that they could meet with, so that they would get to know what the area is really like.
There are a lot of new communities popping up all over the place, but when push comes to shove, many people prefer to come to Carolina Meadows because of the quality of the resident, the staff, and the good things they've heard about it.
It's the quality of life.